Hello, Internet! Welcome back to another episode of Pokémon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode... well, I'll let the game tell you what we did. We left Pewter City's Pewter Museum of Science for the next destination. We took on Pewter City Gym Leader Brock's Onix with Bulbasaur and won handily. We departed the gym in Pewter City. And we went to the Pokemart in Pewter City and spent 1,600 Poke for items including escape ropes. And lastly, we saved the game at this location, Pewter City. In the last episode, we did everything up to defeating Brock. I am going to be showing that in almost every episode just because I really love that the game tracks that for no reason. It like records your steps before you turn off the game and everything. It's really funny to me. But anyway, yeah, we did literally everything up to fighting Brock in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. So, this time... Pokemon learn new techniques as they grow, but some moves must be taught to them by people. Yeah, we didn't really talk to people. This time, we are going to be doing everything up through the Cerulean City Gym, which means we have a lot of work to do. We are going to start by heading out onto Route 3. We obviously can't get to the tall grass yet, but there's a lot of trainers to fight here and not much else to talk about, so let's go over the bios for those new encounters. Starting... I forgot to open the stopwatch before opening this, and I need that to know how long to not talk for bios. Okay, starting now. Here's the new Pokemon that can appear on Route 3. Nidoran Male is about as good here as it was in Generation 1, with the unfortunate caveat that you can't obtain it until after fighting Brock. It still gets Double Kick at an early level, and it comes knowing Peck, giving it some decent type coverage early on. You'll notice as you train it, though, that variety is pretty deceiving, with most of Nidoran's move pool being normal type moves. This isn't the end of the world. It evolves early on into Nidorino and can be fully evolved into Nidoking as soon as you get a Moonstone, and for that matter, most of Nidoking's best moves are learned through TM anyways. All except one, but I'll touch on that when we get to Nidorino. Nidoran Female is still about the exact same. There are definite differences once it evolves into Nidorina, but for now, Nidoran Female is basically just a slightly bulkier version of Nidoran Male that deals less damage. In terms of move pool too, though it gets Scratch instead of Peck, which I'd argue is a definite downgrade. Alright, I know what you're wondering. Does Jigglypuff still suck? Surely with the advent of abilities, the special stat split, and tons of new moves, along with 2 additional types for those moves to be, Jigglypuff has a purpose. Surely now Jigglypuff can actually ball. Well, I am pleased to tell you that Jigglypuff has a use. In a Nuzlocke. If you need a sacrifice. It still sucks. It suffers from all the same problems as before. The special stat split didn't actually change its stats at all, and even if it did, Jigglypuff's physical defense is still so pitifully weak that there's no point even humoring the idea of using Jigglypuff on a team. That's what I wrote originally, and I'm keeping it because that's genuinely my opinion on Jigglypuff. However, I am caving to the woke mob that is my friend group to bring up a few redeeming qualities. First of all, Jigglypuff can evolve as soon as you get a Moonstone, and while Wigglytuff's stats still aren't good, it does give Jigglypuff enough of a boost that, at least in the early game, it will be able to hold up for at least an hour or two of gameplay. Jigglypuff, like most normal-type Pokemon, has an absolutely ridiculous move pool consisting of most TMs you'll pick up throughout the game, and a lot of good TMs are actually renewable, meaning you aren't wasting anything more than your money by using them on Jigglypuff. There are certain significantly better options, but if you like Jigglypuff, it'll hold up for at least a few hours. I just want to say, when I call my friends a woke mob, I mean that as affectionately as possible, because I too am part of the woke mob. Anyway, I'm gonna fight literally every trainer on this route. They're delightfully comfy and easy to wear, he says this time. For some reason, I think people assume that this is youngster Joey. This is youngster Ben. Anyway. See you at the next important thing to talk about. There's a little grass tile down here that looks different from all the other ones. Usually if you see that, there is a hidden item on them. That's worth noting. We just got an Oranberry, which unlocks a new pouch in our bag. In fact, TMs did the same thing. There's not separate pockets for berries and TMs in this game. There's just cases within the key items pocket. The Oranberry restores 10 HP when used on a Pokemon, but it can also be held, and if a Pokemon reaches low HP, then it will automatically use it. Not a good item, but this is useful in Ruby and Sapphire for very specific things. I'll give it to a Pokemon anyway. Why not? No, I won't, actually. Berries are, like, really not that common to come by in Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, so I recommend sparing them until, like, you actually need them. Heket grew to level 16 from beating a Metapod, and you know what that means. Heket is evolving. Heket evolved into Ivysaur. Pretty good. Alright. So there's not really a good place for me to put bios for the evolutions of the starter Pokemon in this specific Let's Play, specifically the secondary evolutions, so I'm just gonna let those play out now. I haven't even written them yet. That's how little I actually, like, prepared for them, so hopefully I get the timing right on these. Here we go.
Ivysaur is largely just an upgrade to Bulbasaur. It gets access to Razor Leaf at level 22, a significantly better move than Vine Whip with much more PP in exchange for slightly lower accuracy, but otherwise, there's not much else to say. Its special stats are still equal, all of its other stats get a boost, and it's otherwise going to play the same as Bulbasaur did. Charmeleon learns Flamethrower at level 34. It also gets many, many good moves through TM and level up, both physical and special. There's not much more to it than that. It's a pure fire type with high special attack and decent speed. It can get the job done as long as the rest of your team has the coverage to support it. You're going to be noticing a theme here where I really don't have much to say about these second starter evolutions. Wartortle 2 plays pretty much identically to Squirtle. It will learn Bite at level 19 to give it a way to cover Psychic and Ghost-type opponents, Rapid Spin to stop potential hazards, though that's not likely to be a problem you encounter in single player, and Protect to stall out turns and see what your opponent is going for. Otherwise, it gets the same good TM compatibility as Squirtle and is overall the most consistently useful first partner Pokemon.
You know, sometimes I forget just how low a 1% chance is. I just want a Nidoran male. That's all I want. You know, at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if I found a shiny Pokemon before I found a Nidoran male. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I have no joke been searching for, like, probably 10 minutes for a Nidoran male, and I still have not found one. Just as an update, I'm gonna keep looking. It's sunk cost fallacy sort of thing at this point, where I've already been searching for so long that I'm committed, and now I can't get myself to stop. This is why they don't let me in casinos. They being my therapist and friends, I guess. Oh my god, finally! That took more than 20 minutes! Oh my god! Oh, please don't fuck this up for me, Heket. Oh my god. I know 1% encounters are bad, but you never realize how bad they are until you're actively looking for one. That sucked. I'm honestly shocked I didn't find a shiny first. Now my issue here is I have one Pokeball. So I need to either get this in one Pokeball or do it all over again. I am not risking Vine Whip when this thing is level 6. I'm just gonna let Leech Seed whittle it down. Okay, I don't have much more time I can waste here. Let's do this. Please. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank God. Oh. Oh. It stiffens its ears to sense danger. The larger its horns, the more powerful its secreted venom. Holy shit, that was a pain in the ass. I need to go buy more Pokeballs. Honestly, I'm gonna take 8. That's all I can afford, and I just do not want to risk being that low on Pokeballs, like, when we're basically about to be at a point of no return. Anyways, after that training on Route 3, here's what our team is looking like. Hiket has basically an entirely new moveset. Half their moves were replaced. We have Sleep Powder and Poison Powder now. And Margarine is the same, without Harden and String Shot, instead having Stun Spore and Poison Powder. I'm probably going to get rid of Poison Powder for Sleep Powder once we get Sleep Powder. Maybe I'll get rid of Tackle, but I definitely will get rid of Tackle. But yeah, Margarine would be a better user of Sleep Powder. Margarine just gets it later, and in exchange, Ivysaur gets Stun Spore later. Anyway, the end of Route 3, we can make it to Route 4. Really ruining the illusion of these being separate routes from Red and Blue. Oh wow, that's the Boulder Badge. You got it from Brock, didn't you? Brock is cool. He's not just tough, people like and respect him. I want to become a gym leader like him. Keep this guy in mind. Ouch, I tripped over a rocky Pokemon, Geodude. I'm not a Geodude. There's a hidden berry up here as well. A Persim Berry. I believe this heals confusion? I'll check it to be sure. I'm not, like, 100% sure on what all the berries do. It lifts confusion, yeah. Just because these berries have... All their names are obviously based on real fruit. The Oran Berry is based on an orange. Persim is based on... a persimmon. I did just Google that. And that was a test just to see how long I could keep saying, And it turns out I can do that for a long time because it doesn't really require air. Okay. As usual in this Pokemon Center. Hello there, sweetie pie! Have I got a deal just for you? Okay, so you're even weirder than you were in Red and Blue. Don't fucking call people that. I'll let you have a secret Pokemon, a Magikarp, for just 500 Poke. So you'll buy it, am I right? Yeah! You'll need more money than that. Okay, Magikarp, let's go over it. You know the drill with Magikarp. It learns 2 moves. Splash as soon as you get it, and Tackle at level 15. But they actually added a 3rd move in Generation 3, Flail, which it learns at level 30. There's no reason to actually wait to evolve Magikarp, and you're actually actively disadvantaging yourself by doing so, but it is funny. Otherwise, my advice remains the same here. Pick up this Magikarp if you plan to use a Gyarados on your team, so you can start training it up early. Otherwise, you can catch Magikarp very easily without paying later on. And I'm not actually going to make myself pay for it this time, because I literally can't. Funny how that works. Anyway. Welcome to Mount Moon. Caves still suck. Wild Pokemon can appear on every tile. Speak of the devil. Hello, Geodude. I don't really want to fight this. Right away! TM09. The game actually tells you what they contain, but that automatically skips the text, so if you don't read it in time, too bad. This one contains Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed is a 10 power, 100 accuracy move that can hit 2 to 5 times, so it ranges from 20 base power to 50 base power, essentially, with every one of those hits having a chance of being a critical hit. It's not a great move, at least not in this generation when Skill Link doesn't exist, but it's okay if you want to teach it to a grass type early on. I'm not going to teach this to Hiket because I think Vine Whip is just consistently better, but... well, better more consistently, because Bullet Seed has a 1 in 5 chance of essentially hitting all 5 times and being more powerful than Vine Whip. But certain Pokemon only get moves like Absorb, and at that point, it may be worth teaching that to them instead. Hello, Zubat. If you don't get knocked out from this, I'll catch you now. Too bad. Not catching you now. I am gonna fight all the trainers in here. As usual, I'm pretty much just gonna skip until I'm in, like, interesting parts. Because we're getting into the point in the series where episodes are gonna have a lot of information in them, and if I show literally everything, episodes are gonna be like 5 hours long. Margarine is finally learning Sleep Powder at level 15. Goodbye, Tackle. Now we have a 97% accurate sleep-inducing move. I lost? Yes, you did. You had a single Clefairy, and it did not attack. Well, it did attack once, actually. It just failed. The Super Nerd is still here, and there is an item behind him that I want to get, so I'm gonna beat up the Super Nerd real quick. Joven. That's a cool name, if that's how it's pronounced. I don't know how it's pronounced. Magnemite. That's actually awkward. In Generation 1, that was just an electric type, but that has the steel type now, which means we literally can't deal even neutrally effective damage to it with our current team. Maybe I don't risk getting hit by Thundershock here. Alright, took down Magnemite without taking any hits. And Voltorb. I'm not risking getting hit by that, thanks Thundershock either. My Pokemon won't do! Yes, they will. They're actually both still pretty usable here. Although Magnemite might be better than Voltorb, but you can use both of them still, man. They'll do. You just have to be better at the game. That's your issue. Anyway, yeah, that item behind him is a rare candy. So obviously pick that up. There is also... Oh, this is the rare candy. What did I pick up behind the Super Nerd? Was that an escape rope, maybe? Yes. No, it was a paralyze heal. What? Why? Okay. Sure. As I was walking north from there, I found another item, and that's the escape rope. Okay. We have 2 of these now, so we can actually use one to heal, which I'm gonna need to do soon because we're running out of PP on Confusion. This NPC is new. He was not here before. Oh, but first I have to talk to Geodude. It's this guy's bodyguard. Hi, I'm excavating for fossils here under Mount Moon. Sometimes Brock of Pewter Gym lends me a hand. More information about Brock. Suspicious. I should follow. Hello. Wow, it's way bigger in here than I thought. True. Me when it's way bigger in here than I thought. Oddish. Okay. That's the Pokemon I was referring to earlier that could maybe get good use out of Bullet Seed. Goodbye, Oddish. Oh! I found a Clefairy on the first floor. That's actually pretty rare. Okay. I have to be very delicate with this. Because my team is very high leveled for, like... Because I have 2 Pokemon and there were, like, 8 trainers before this point. Alright, I caught it on the first ball. I didn't even catch Geodude and Zubat in the first ball, so I will take it. I want to read that Pokedex entry because I saw the word magical. With its magical and cute appeal, it has many admirers. It is rare and found only in certain areas. Okay. That wasn't actually that interesting. You know, honestly, I'm only missing 1 Pokemon from the area, and it can only be found on B1F, so... Well, it can't only be found, but it's most common on B1F, so... Yeah, let's just get this out of the way now. There we go. Okay, we've caught everything in Mount Moon now, so I don't need to worry about wasting Pokeballs on things. Burrows to suck tree roots. The mushrooms on its back grow by drawing nutrients from the bug host. True. Anyway, I'm gonna explore the basement later. I really just want to fight all these trainers and then escape rope out of here to go heal. It's a weird way of going about this, but it's my way of going about this right now. Alright, beat every trainer on the first floor, and with this moonstone, I've also gotten every item. I'm going to go ahead and use an escape rope to get out of here and heal, and then we'll actually talk about Mount Moon and everything that I have to go over in Mount Moon, which is a surprisingly large amount of stuff. By the way, here's what the PC box is looking like right now. We have 14 Pokemon. It's not bad. I'm probably gonna evolve a lot of these guys off screen, like between videos. Just because it's annoying grinding work, and yeah. I mean, like, a lot of these guys are stone evolutions. And by that I mean 3 of these guys are stone evolutions, but you know, those ones will be easy at least in the future. 2 of them will become stone evolutions too, I guess. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass, but I'll do it. It's fine. I'm not gonna be, like, a super stickler for Pokedex completion in this Let's Play like I was for Red, Blue, and Yellow. But I want to be a little on top of things just because there are certain things locked behind Pokedex completion, and I want to make sure I'm at least on top of that enough so that I can see everything in the game. Okay. Although you do need to complete the Pokedex to see everything, technically, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna switch a cat back to the front. Alright. Going over Mount Moon, we are gonna take this first ladder. And I need to look at my notes real quick. So sometimes on this rock, there will be a hidden item, but not all the time. Okay, so these are recurring items. On this floor, which includes all the other ladders as well, there are 3 possible tiny mushrooms and big mushrooms, meaning they'll occasionally respawn and aren't guaranteed to be there every time. They're recurring items, but they are very valuable and worth picking up, especially the big mushrooms. To put recurring items simply, they're split into 3 groups, A, B, and C. Group A items have a 60% chance of respawning every 1,500 steps, while Group B have a 30% chance and Group C have a 10% chance. The 3 tiny mushrooms are in both Group B and Group C, giving them a higher chance of respawning, while the big mushrooms are only in Group C. If a group is chosen by the game, every item in that group will spawn, so if Group C is selected, you'll be able to pick up all 6 mushrooms. If Group B is selected, you will only find tiny mushrooms, and if Group A is selected, you won't find any. It seems like Group A was selected this time. I have Bulbapedia's chart for where these mushrooms are, which is what I'm looking at, and that's sort of just going to be how I'm, going about trying to find these, but yeah. Alright. And in case I needed any confirmation that Group A was selected, yeah, we literally can't find big mushrooms on these rocks, and there's 1 on each of these. Anyway, heading downstairs, we have our first Team Rocket grunt. We, Team Rocket, are Pokemon gangsters. We strike fear with our strength. Okay. Now that we've gone over recurring items, let's go over the encounters here in Mount Moon, including those that are now available since we have access to the Moonstone. Thanks to the Moonstone, Wigglytuff. Unfortunately for Wigglytuff, I exhausted literally all of the nice things I had to say when I talked about Jigglypuff. Everything I said before still applies. It'll hold up for a very short time in the early game, then very quickly fall behind due to its horrendous stats. Having 140 in its HP stat cannot save it from a defense stat of 45. Sure, Wigglytuff's special attack is okay, and its attack is also okay, but it will never get a chance to use those when its special defense stat is still only 50, and its defense is even lower, along with a speed of 45. Wigglytuff is not very good. Zubat, on the other hand, is good, with several actual flying-type attacking options at its disposal, including the surprisingly good wing attack at only level 21, a move that was buffed up to 60 base power in Generation 3. on top of its usual access to moves like Confuse Ray to let it stall out opponents a bit more effectively. Evolving into Golbat relatively soon will also provide it with quite a bit of extra support as far as bulk goes. The main weakness Zubat has in this generation is that, while it does have better moves, its bulk still isn't anything to write home about, and it does have some relatively common weaknesses. Evolving into Golbat can remedy that somewhat, but as you can see on its bio, its final evolution is locked behind the post-game. If you're willing to wait until then, Golbat is still passable. Just be prepared to have to pick its battles more carefully than you would in future games. Geodude is still solid. Literally, it still learns to explode at level 21, and Self-Destruct was actually buffed to be 200 base power, meaning after it halves the opponent's defense, it's effectively a 400 base power normal type move. This is a phenomenal nuclear option if you need to just clear something out of the way. Aside from that, Geodude's game is pretty simple. It's extremely physically bulky and has some strong attacks as well, but its learn set consists mostly of normal rock, ground, and fighting type moves. It's very one-note. I will say that of the two abilities, I would recommend Sturdy over Rockhead. You may think of Sturdy as a free focus sash, where a Pokemon can under no circumstances be knocked out in a single hit. Unfortunately, in Generation 3, it's a bit more specific than that. It simply means that the Pokemon is immune to one-hit KO moves like Fissure or Guillotine. However, Geodude learns a grand total of one move that deals recoil damage, and it learns it at level 46. So I'd argue Sturdy is generally still a more useful ability. Don't pay its ability too much mind though, as neither is likely to ever come up a single time in your playthrough. Paris is awful. Contrary to what that statement may make you believe, Paris actually learned some really solid moves. Spore at level 25 is the most accurate sleep-inducing move in the game, and while it is cheapened a bit by Butterfree Sleep Powder only being 3% less accurate, it still can't be fully understated. However, another issue is that Paris has a conflicting ability in Effect Spore. Whenever Paris is hit by a contact move, it has a small chance of inflicting a status condition on the opponent. And since Paris' speed stat is so low, you'll be surprised how often you'll choose to use Spore, but have the opponent just ignore it because they get poisoned or paralyzed after outspeeding. Paris also gets some great moves through TM, but to be blunt, I don't think Paris is the best Pokemon to use most of them on. Paris' main use in this game is as a simple renewable source of tiny mushrooms and big mushrooms, as it has a chance of holding either one, and again, these are useful items to collect. Clefairy is quite good. First thing I want to mention, at level 45, Clefairy will learn Meteor Mash, a 100 power steel-type move with a 20% chance of raising its attack stat by one stage. This is the best steel-type move in the game, and while raising a Clefairy to that high of a level is not something I would personally recommend, it is one of Clefairy's selling points in Generation 3, as steel moves are somewhat hard to come by. As with in Generation 1, Clefairy has an insanely deep move pool thanks to its ability to learn the vast majority of TM moves, and at later levels it even learns some pretty powerful moves through level up, including Meteor Mash as mentioned before, Cosmic Power, which raises both of its defensive stats by one stage, and Moonlight, which restores some HP depending on the weather. A quarter of its HP in most weather, half when there's no weather, and 2/3 during sunny weather. These two moves can combine to turn Clefairy into a bulky monster if you're willing to wait until level 37 for Clefairy to learn both of them. Using the Moonstone, Clefairy will evolve into Clefable. If you're impatient and want to evolve Clefairy as soon as you get it, no worries. Clefable can learn powerful sets with or without the level up moves it gets from Clefairy. Just keep in mind, once Clefairy evolves, Clefable will not learn a single move through level up. Later on in the adventure, we'll be receiving the TM for Calm Mind, a move which increases the user's special attack and special defense. This move is Clefable's bread and butter, using it to bulk up its stats, then hit hard with Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, and carrying Soft Boiled or Rest to heal off any damage it may take in the process. Overall, Clefable is very similar to how it was in Generation 1. It's bulky, and while it doesn't have the best stats in the world, its move pool more than makes up for it. You may have seen in the footage that we just picked up a very special TM. Thief, an attack that may take the foe's held item if the user isn't holding one. Generally, this isn't the most useful move in the world. It's a really weak Dark-type move, but that added effect can be so useful for grinding certain items that I'm willing to just straight up get rid of Poison Powder for it on Margarine. And I'm actually going to show you the reason why for that right away, too, after putting Margarine in the lead. Remember when I said tiny mushrooms and big mushrooms are useful to grind, but they're useful to pick up a lot of, but they don't always appear as hidden items, even if they are recurring? Well, Paris has a pretty good chance of holding a tiny mushroom or a big mushroom. Yeah, we just got a free tiny mushroom. You can easily just steal these items from Wild Paris, run away, take them from Butterfree, rinse and repeat over and over and over again, and just do this to grind up mushrooms. And honestly, I really recommend this. Mushrooms are extremely useful items, even just for selling. They don't go for the most money, but they go for enough to make them, like, worth selling if you need to buy something. And the fact that they even have a 5% chance of holding a big mushroom means you can just get some really good items from doing this. That's not even bringing up, like, other wild Pokemon that can hold certain items. This way you don't need to capture them just to grab those items. Yeah, I'm gonna actually just do this for a little bit. Maybe until I exhaust all of Thief's PP. That's how useful this is. Supersonic. That's still not going to be very accurate even after the boost. And Confusion already has a chance of confusing. So I'm probably not going to go for that, but I mean, Butterfree is a better user of it than most other Pokemon. I wonder if there's a reason they gave you Thief in Mount Moon. Ooh! Ooh, this Paris had a big mushroom! Hell yeah, you love to see that. Big mushrooms, where is it? What the huh? Oh, Butterfree's still holding it. I'm stupid. Big mushroom. Oh, hell yeah. A large and rare mushroom. It is very popular among certain people. You want to collect a lot of big mushrooms, especially. Tiny mushrooms are useful for the same reason as big mushrooms, but you need more tiny mushrooms to accomplish the same thing. We won't be seeing why these are useful until much later on. Just trust me, they are. So I could keep doing this all day, but we have 17 tiny mushrooms and 2 big mushrooms. I got a little carried away beyond just exhausting Thief's PP a single time and actually did it about 4 times, and this is a pretty good haul. We might not ever need to get more mushrooms again at that point, but it's fine. It's funny to get that many. We're gonna actually go through, like, the proper way of getting through Mount Moon now. Also, I got a Star Piece and a Hidden Ether in the same room as one of those Team Rocket grunts. Star Pieces are just sold for high price. Ethers restore moves PP by 10 points. Both are good items, both are not, like, purchasable. I mean, obviously the Star Piece isn't, but, yeah, you can't purchase Ethers, so it's worth, like, keeping those until you actually really need them. Anyway, back to where we were. Any big mushrooms? Southernmost rock is what my notes say, which would be this one, unless there's one down here. Hello, Paris. Do you want to give me a mushroom? Yes, you do. Okay. Oh, a tiny one. That's okay. It's no big mushroom, but, you know, I'll take it. See you! And I have a Paralyze Heal. That's what I was talking about with Effect Spore being kind of like a conflict of interest with Spore. That's not really what a conflict of interest is, I don't think, but whatever. Heading down. This looks familiar, doesn't it? So does this. I really need to, like, remember to stay on top of spraying repels, but we only had 3, like, coming into the dungeon, and I don't think using another one now is going to last us to the end of the dungeon. So, well, maybe if I use my steps really well, actually. You know, seeing a Zubat is really all it took for me to cave on that. Also, I want to switch a cat back to the front. Let's repel up. Alright. You, the terrifying guy with the level 20 Raticate, or level 16 Raticate. Do you still have a level 16 Raticate? Probably not, but maybe. He could. Nope, he has 2 Rattata now, probably. Okay. He got demoted in this universe. Oh, he has a Sandshrew and a Rattata. Okay, it's not so much a demotion as it is... No, it's a demotion, actually. This guy used to terrify me, now I can destroy him easily in 2 hits. Awesome. Alright. We're almost at the end. Will the repel actually last? Hold on. Maybe? We, Team Rocket, shall find the fossils. Reviving Pokemon from them will earn us huge riches. Huge riches even, not just riches, but huge ones. That's good. Rattata. Yeah, dude, you're cut out to make it big. Anyway. Level 19, nice. Oh, he has 2 Pokemon! He's serious, you know he's serious. I even have to switch into Margarine for maximum efficiency on this Pokemon. Wow. With a move like that. Okay. No, I'm mad! Good. Oh, Repel's effect wore off. That's too bad. Is the Moonstone? Yeah, Moonstone's here. Okay. Still gotta remember to grab that second hidden Moonstone. Well, the first hidden one, but the second Moonstone. Because there are still a lot of Moonstone evolutions in this game. Hey, stop! I found these fossils. They're both mine! Okay, dude. You're not even important enough to get a sidebar for your boss fight this time. I don't know who you think you are, Miguel. Grimer. Awesome. I should have led with Margarine for the... Like, I knew he had Poison-type Pokemon, and I just didn't really think to switch Margarine to the front. Now he's getting a chance to use Harden, which isn't going to do anything in this battle, but he could have not gotten that chance if I had just chose to have Margarine in the front before the battle. And that probably would have been better. There's not that much to say about this battle. I think he has the same Pokemon as before, which means he might have a Magnemite, which is a little rough. Oh, he has a Voltorb. Okay. I remembered him having a Magnemite, but he doesn't. He has a Voltorb. Okay. Well, Charge is an interesting move. Charge increases special defense, and also, well, it doesn't actually increase special defense in this generation, I guess. Charge makes it so the next electric-type move a Pokemon uses will do more damage. It's a pretty, like, sizable increase. It's just not always worth it, because electric-type moves are already really good. One shot? Yep, okay. There we go. Just as easy as always. Okay, I'll share. Yeah, you will. We'll each take a fossil, no being greedy. Is this the Helix? Nope, that is the Dome. I am not a heretic. I'm taking the Helix fossil. Alright, then this fossil's mine. Okay, bye. Oh, but first, antidote. In case he poisoned your Pokemon, I guess, because he did have a Coughing and a Grimer. Could happen. Welcome to Route 4! There's not that much special to say about Route 4 in this generation, other than these 2 guys that were not here before. A punch of roaring ferocity, packed with destructive power. When the chips are down, Mega Punch is the ultimate attack. You agree, yes? Now, let me teach it to your Pokémon. I don't think either of my Pokémon can learn this. Yeah, no. You'll be back when you understand the worth of Mega Punch. As the text told you that I didn't read, move tutors in FireRed and LeafGreen can only teach their moves a single time. That's like an incredible restriction, and you really have to think about what you're teaching these moves to. A kick of brutal ferocity, packed with destructive power. When you get right down to it, Mega Kick is the ultimate attack. Don't you agree? Okay, I'll teach it to your Pokemon. I don't think either of them can learn this either. Yep. You'll come crawling back when you realize the value of Mega Kick. Yeah, sure. I don't know if any of the Pokemon I'm using at all can learn Mega Kick, but Mega Punch is almost universally able to be learned by most Pokemon. Mega Kick is a 120 power move, I think, or a 100 power move, one of those with 85% accuracy. It's a normal type move, it has no added effects at all. It's okay. It's not really worth noting at all, though, so yeah. Mega Punch is, I think, 80 power, 95 accuracy, or 100 accuracy. Still not great. New encounters, including a team member. Let's go over these now. Ekans is pretty awful. As in Generation 1, Ekans' greatest strength is its access to Glare at level 20, and its otherwise pretty good TM compatibility learning moves like Rock Slide and Earthquake. It also gets Intimidate, the best ability in the game, as a potential ability. This can do a little bit to bolster Ekans' terrible stats to give it a chance to paralyze opponents. Unfortunately, though, that's where the positives with Ekans end. Ekans cannot learn any Poison-type moves stronger than Acid at 40 base power until quite a long way into the post-game, and its stats are terrible both defensively and offensively. Ekans will evolve before your 4th gym battle, but even its evolution doesn't have much going for it. We'll get to that later, though. Sandshrew, it's still objectively better than Ekans in every way. It has a deeper move pool that, while filled with relatively generic moves for a ground type, give it options to deal with all sorts of threats. It gets access to Slash at an early level to allow it to deal heavy damage to many Pokemon in the early game. Its ability, while heavily situational, can turn Sandshrew into an evasion tank. But I wouldn't bank on that, as Sandshrew doesn't learn Sandstorm until level 53 without evolving, and we won't be getting the TM until near the very end of the main story. Sandshrew has also done no favors by the fact that the only offensive ground-type move it learns through level up is Sand Tomb at level 45. If you don't evolve it, along with the fact that Dig has been reduced to a 60 power move in this gen. Sandshrew is still extremely usable. Obviously, I'm still using it on my team after all, but it's definitely lost some of the shine it had back in Generation 1. I'm encountering an issue where now that Pokemon have genders, like, explicitly stated in the game, I want to find team members of those specific genders, but Sandshrew already isn't super common on this route, so yeah. There we go, female Sandshrew. That is what I wanted. I'm gonna use Sleep Powder, or not. Gonna use Sleep Powder. I just realized I don't think I have Pokeballs. Either that or I have 2. But that's not a lot. Okay, I'm gonna use Leech Seed to try and whittle it down that way, and then I'm gonna switch into Margarine so I can hit with Sleep Powder. I think I always thought during Red and Blue that Margarine was generally better at hitting with powders, but abilities didn't exist back then, so Compound Eye sort of just exists to make that, like, one thought that I had during Red, Blue, and Yellow more accurate. But just fine by me. 'Cause that is the Margarine I know. Also, yeah, every Pokemon I have so far is female. Huh. Well, we'll see about the next few. It's finally whittled down enough to the point where I think it's worth using a Pokeball on it. Please, just work. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Welcome back to the team, Annabelle. Burrows deep underground in arid locations far from water. It only emerges to hunt for prey. Funny you should say that, because we definitely are not in an arid location or far from water. But okay. We got Annabelle back. And welcome to Cerulean City. Let me talk to you, Jesus. If that Slowbro wasn't there, you could cut down the small tree. That way you could get to the other side. I think there's a way around it, though. What Slowbro? Ah, she's still here. Slowbro took a snooze. Are you telling it to use moves it can actually learn, at least? Withdraw! No, that's wrong! It's so hard to control Pokemon. Your Pokemon's obedience depends on your abilities as a trainer. Okay, she's not trying to make it use Sonic Boom anymore, at least. I'm pretty sure that's what she was trying to make it do in, Generation 1. Alright, let's head to the Pokemon Center. I'm gonna go into the house next door. Bulbasaur's not here this time, but the old man still is. Hello there, do you happen to have a Poliwhirl? Would you agree to trade for my Jinx? We don't have a Poliwhirl, but we'll have to remember this guy for later. Heading south. Still have the bike shop. Hi, welcome to our bike shop, and we got just the bike for you for 1,000,000 Poke. Even in real life, that's ridiculous for a bike, even in yen. Wouldn't a bike normally go for like maybe $100 at most for like just a normal ass bicycle? One sec, I have to look at this actually. I've never bought a bike, so I don't know, but... Okay, no, there's like... Walmart sells bikes for like $150. Like mountain bikes. What the hell is... What kind of operation is this guy running? Pokemart. They only sell a single new item, Super Potions, which restore 50 HP. We know what these do. We had a lot of them in Generation 1. What's in this house? I don't remember this one. Too much time, too little to do. Is nothing entertaining happening anywhere? Okay. He's fine with me blocking the TV, at least. This guy's bored as hell, though. Alright. Heading in here. Only skilled trainers can collect Pokemon badges. I see you have at least one. Those badges have amazing secrets, did you know? Now then, which of the 8 badges should I describe? Most of these are technically the same. However, there is a difference to the Marsh badge. Pokemon up to level 70 will obey you. That includes even outsiders you obtain in trades. Pokemon of higher levels will be unruly in battle, however. It also lets you use the move Rock Smash outside of battle. Yeah. So we have a new HM. And then the 7th one... Special attack and special defense stats of all your Pokemon rise a little bit. It also lets you use the move Waterfall outside of battle. Yeah, Waterfall's an HM now. Okay, so you can't get either of these HMs normally until after the 7th gym. I mean, technically, Seaking can learn Waterfall, but there's nowhere to even use it until the post-game. So the badges doing that is not something this guy needs to tell you at all. But they decided to put it there anyway. I'm gonna head back into the backyard, because I'm pretty sure there's still a rare candy here somewhere. There we go. Always have to grab that. There's also a house next door to this guy that wasn't here in Generation 1. It was just a building without a door. I concoct a variety of medicine from berry powder. Using good berry powder, I can make any kind of medicine. Now tell me, have you any interest in berries? Of course. Ah, good for you then. I have just the thing. Powder jar. There's something new on the 2nd floor of Pokemon Centers at the Direct Corner. They installed a wireless adapter machine for crushing berries. This is where you come in. I have a favor to ask, one that I can entrust only to you. Could you make berry powder for me using that machine? Don't forget, the machine is at the direct corner of Pokémon centers. I'll concoct medicine for you if you bring me some berry powder. Don't forget, crush berries into berry powder and bring it to me. True, if we look at this sign, Berry Crush pressing speed rankings. And we can see that that is a 5-player minigame, potentially. Let's go check this out. As he said, there is a second floor to the Pokemon Center. Hello, my name is Tila. This must be your first time up here. I'll show you how the wireless communication system works. First, I need to show you this floor of our Pokemon Center. Right this way, please. On the top floor, there are 2 rooms. First, the room on the left. It's the Union Room. You may link up with trainers around you who have also entered the Union Room. With them, you may do things like chat, battle, and trade. Second, the room on the right is the direct corner. You may trade or battle Pokemon with your friends in this room. If the wireless adapter isn't connected, you may still link up using a GBA Game Link cable. If that is the case, you must go to the direct corner. I hope you enjoy the wireless communication system. So that was a whole lot of tutorial. Okay. The Powder Jar unlocks the Berry Crush minigame in the Wireless Club Direct Corner at any Pokemon Center within Pokemon FireRed, LeafGreen, and Emerald. Let's talk about Berry Crush, because this is something I can't actually show, because I'm playing on an emulator, and even if I was playing on real hardware, I don't think I know anyone who has a copy of FireRed and LeafGreen and the wireless adapter other than me. Berry Crush is a minigame for 2 to 5 players where you select any berry from the bag, and you and every other player involved needs to mash the A button as fast as possible. The goal is to get the powder at the end to be as silky as possible. The amount of powder you get is determined by the performance of every player involved and can be boiled down to a simple equation. B times S times P, rounded down to the nearest integer. B is the sum of the base berry powder all the berries used provide, S is the silkiness achieved in the minigame as a percentage between 0 and 100, and P is the number of players in the game. The maximum yield in a single Berry Crush game is 18,750 units of powder, achieved with a 100% silkiness rating with 5 players using only Landsat and Starf berries. There's a chart in the Bulbapedia page for Berry Crush that will tell you the base berry powder and difficulty of every single berry in the game that I'll put a link to in the description. If I don't, please tell me. And I will be right back. Have you brought me some berry powder? Yeah, I spent like 1,200 years grinding, according to the game. Okay, I went ahead and entered PK Hex to give myself berry powder just so I could show this menu. I am not going to abuse this as much as I want to, because having PP ups for Thief sounds so fun later on. I would love to just grind tiny and big mushrooms for 12 hours, but yeah, no. I just want to show you everything you can actually get for doing this. Energy Powder restores 50 points of HP but lowers friendship of the Pokemon you use it on. It's essentially a worse super potion. Energy Root restores 200 HP but lowers friendship. Same as a hyper potion but lowers friendship. Heal Powder is a full heal that lowers friendship. Revival Herb is a max revive that lowers friendship. Protein raises attack EVs by 10 points, up to 100. You can only use these up to 10 times on any given Pokemon. Same for Iron, except for defense, Carbos for speed, Calcium for special attack, Zinc for special defense, HP for HP. PP up raises the PP of a move. The amount it increases by depends on the move's default PP. Other than that, there's really not much to Berry Crush. It's like a thing that exists, and that is literally the best way to describe it. Alright. I am actually a little bit too worried about this right now. I want to go ahead and teach Rock Tomb to Annabelle. I don't know what else I would ever end up using this TM on, and Annabelle is not going to get access to any good moves for a long while, so I'm gonna have to give her whatever support I can. This battle is a lot harder here than it is in future games. Well, it's not... what do I mean future games? I mean past games. It's a lot harder here than it was in Generation 1. Specifically for my team combination. Composition is what I meant to say. Whatever, let's just do it. Yo, Winter! You're still struggling along back here? I'm doing great. I caught a bunch of strong and smart Pokemon. Here, let me see what you caught, Winter. Rival Aiden. Leading with Pidgeotto. Level 17, normal flying type, Keen Eye for the ability, knowing the moves Tackle, Gust, Sand Attack, and Quick Attack. This is what I'm scared of. Annabelle is level 6, Margarine and Heket are both weak to Gust. I think Margarine is our best bet. I'm gonna try to switch in, hopefully survive a hit, and then outspeed and use Sleep Powder. Sand Attack does not bode well for that purpose. At all. And now we're gonna get hit by another Sand Attack. Great. Oh my fucking god. Compound Ice doesn't even matter anymore. Stop! Oh god. The real Aiden would never do this. Because they'd be too focused on using bad Pokemon and trying to make them good. No offense to Aiden, because I really admire that they just use the Pokemon they like, and I think it's really cool. Aiden is the person who wrote the Pinsir bio in my Generation 1 Let's Play. I would not have had that much nice to say about Pinsir if I was the one writing that bio. I'm telling you that now. I love Aiden. Aiden is a just awesome person. Anyway, now that I'm done gushing about my friends, Confusion isn't missing at all, and I'm wondering if the game is considering it a 101% accuracy move because of Compound Eyes, or if I'm just getting very lucky. Because it might be the former, honestly. I was hit by like 4 different Sand Attacks there, and it still managed to go through that way. Annabelle grew to level 7, that's good. Charmander. Charmander is level 18, Fire type, Blaze for the ability, knowing the moves Scratch, Growl, Ember, and Metal Claw. Obviously his other potential Pokemon will be on screen here, and I'm gonna go ahead and use Sleep Powder, never mind. It has Ember. I might lose here. Never mind. Okay. Well. Sand Attack be damned, Margarine can still use Sleep Powder. Confusion. I really want to get rid of this thing. This is another Pokemon that has an advantage against most of my team right now. In fact, against my entire team right now, because Annabelle will not one-shot this even if she could, like, manage to land a hit before fainting. Oh my god. Okay, Confusion finally missed. It took 17 days, but it's about time, honestly. Okay, critical hit. There we go. Charmander's down. What's next? Abra. Okay, I can handle Abra. I'm going to switch into Annabelle, because Abra is level 16 Psychic type synchronized for the ability, still only knowing Teleport. So this is definitely Annabelle's fight, if any Pokemon on his team were to be her fight. That was decent enough damage. It's still gonna take like 40 hits to kill it, but hey. That's the best you can hope for sometimes. We're also getting faster than it every turn. Although it's still faster than us after 2 hits, but maybe this is the one where Annabelle will finally outspeed next turn. It's -3. Come on. Nope, still not enough. Okay. Maybe this time. I know Abra's speed stat is like 90, and Annabelle's is like probably 40 or less. Okay, yeah, there we go. It took a few turns, but we finally outsped on the last possible turn. Level 8 for Annabelle. Love to see it. Last Pokemon, Rattata, level 15, normal type, Guts for the ability, knowing the moves Tackle, Tail Whip, and Quick Attack. I'm going to switch into Heket here. Obviously, I do not want to inflict this with Paralysis or Burn, but, or Poison. Putting it to sleep, though, I mean, it can attack, so Guts isn't going to be active. I'll take it. I literally didn't need to do that. I could just go for Vine Whip, but I feel like being a little bit extra about it, okay? Give me a break. I'm doing my worst. On purpose, though. So it's okay. I'm not bad. Well, I am bad, but I'm being bad on purpose. So then I can not blame the game. I don't know what I'm even saying. Words are just leaving my mouth, and that's just what happens sometimes when you're commentating on your, like, second hour of recording a single episode. Hey, take it easy! You won already! Hey, guess what? I went to Bill's and got him to show me his rare Pokemon. That added a lot of pages to my Pokedex. After all, Bill's world famous as a Pokemaniac. He invented the Pokemon storage system on PC too. Since you're using his system, you should go thank him. Well, I better get rolling. Smell you later. Oh yeah, right. I feel sorry for you. No, really, you're always plotting behind me. So here, I'll give you a little present as a favor. Fame checker. A chatty gossip like you, that thing's perfect. I don't need it because I don't give a hoot about others. Alright, this time I really am gone. Smell ya! So they added a new item just for that funny little cutscene. The Fame Checker, a device that enables you to recall what you've heard and seen about famous people. We can look at Oak, Daisy, Brock, and Bill. We already have seen most of them for Brock. Oak. What is this person like? To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. Oh, oops. That was my dream. This is actually a mechanic that I really, really love. But I'm going to be saving talking about it for its own video when we're able to see literally everything about every character who is registered in here. Which means this will be saved for the post-game. But just know I really love this mechanic, and there is a reason to actually go about doing it if you're interested in the world of Pokemon instead of just, like, playing through the game. Because you get a lot of information about these characters. After all, Bill's world famous as a Pokemaniac. Yeah, I don't know. I like this. It's such a stupid little mechanic that has no reason to exist, but I'm glad it does for reasons you'll see in the future. Anyway, heading to Route 24... we have a lot of trainers to fight on Nugget Bridge, and we have a lot of bios to go over too. And by a lot, I mean not that many, but we have enough that it should fill at least a little bit of time. Here we go. In FireRed, only Oddish can appear on Route 24. Oddish is admittedly nothing special for quite a while when it first becomes obtainable. To start with the positives, Oddish gets access to all of the powder moves, and most of its attacking moves are HP draining moves, meaning if it can put opponents to sleep or paralyze them, it can stall them out for large portions of a given battle. It's also a decent user of the Bullet Seed TM we obtained in Mount Moon. The main issue with Oddish is that while yes, overall it is quite similar to Bulbasaur, its reliance on weak grass-type HP draining moves puts it at a disadvantage against most of the trainers you'll be fighting throughout the game. Think of how many trainers use the Pidgey and Spearow lines in this game. Oddish may be able to stand more of a chance once it learns Acid, but Oddish doesn't learn that until level 23, and that's if you don't evolve it, though Gloom only has to wait one more level. Oddish isn't bad at all, it's more a victim of a lack of variety in the Pokemon the trainers you fight throughout the journey have. If you want to use it, I can recommend it. It's great for the next couple of gyms that are coming up, just keep its lack of good matchups and more moment-to-moment trainer battles in mind. In LeafGreen only, Bellsprout. Bellsprout is very similar to Oddish, but I think at least right now, I'd overall recommend it more. Instead of relying on HP draining moves, Bellsprout relies on good old-fashioned damaging moves, starting with Vine Whip instead of Absorb and getting better use out of Acid, which it learns at the same level as Oddish. It still gets all the powder moves, a lot of great moves it would normally get are still locked behind absurdly high levels and late game and post game TMs, and it deals with the same issue, a lot of tight matchups and random trainer battles, but overall I would still recommend Bellsprout over Oddish in this generation. Abra is sort of just the same now as it was in Generation 1, with the caveat that it can no longer take special attacks in the same way it can dish them out. Abra still has a 105 in its special attack stat even before evolving, and a 90 in its speed, making it faster than most threats and able to cripple them with a powerful special attack before they have a chance to move at all. Abra's biggest weakness is that it only learns Teleport before evolving, and we aren't going to be getting any TMs it can learn for quite a while. However, with it evolving at only level 16, is that really that much of an issue? Alright, if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna cut to the end of Nugget Bridge, because this really is just gonna be Annabelle being slower than everything while we just try to get her levels up a little bit, and I don't know how worth showing that is. Congratulations, you beat our 5 contest trainers! You just earned a fabulous prize! A nugget from the mystery trainer. By the way, how would you like to join Team Rocket? We're a group of professional criminals specializing in Pokemon. Want to join? Are you sure? Come on, join us! I'm telling you to join! Okay, you need convincing. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. You might be wondering why I only have 1 Pokemon. You might also be wondering why that 1 Pokemon is a level 2 Pidgey. Well, don't you worry. We're easily gonna handle this guy. Let's go for tackle right away. Yeah, he's lowering our defense. He thinks Ekans is gonna stand a chance against Pidgey. Yeah, nice try, dude. Uh-oh. So you saw how we lost 32 Poke there, and we lost to the Team Rocket Grunt, and it's just very pathetic, and we kind of look like a little bitch right now. If you go back, he gives you another nugget, and you repeat over and over again, and you can have infinite money before the 2nd gym. This is the stupidest oversight in this game, and I love it so much. If you lose to this guy in Generation 1, the Rocket Grunt disappears. You'll never see him again. So this is literally an oversight exclusive to the remake. They introduced a new problem. And I think that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm actually gonna grind this out for a little bit. You're losing more money than you gain by selling Nugget. Hi, Future Winter here. I'm a little, under the weather while recording this, but so I'm too lazy to get up and turn off the fan. But what I meant was the reverse of what I said there. You're losing less money losing to the Rocket Grunt than you're making selling Nuggets, is what I meant. So this is worth your time if you want a lot of money before Gym 2. Okay. Back to the video. So, there's literally just no reason not to do this. I want to check just to see how much selling just 30 nuggets will get us. 150,000 Poke. Yeah, I recommend doing this, straight up. If you have the patience for it, you can get so much money off of this that you will never have to worry about it again. I'm gonna keep going. That's how much I love this exploit. I'm gonna keep going. 100. I did it 100 times. And I would do it 100 more if I was just a little more patient. I am considering it, but I'm probably not going to. What I'm going to do is sell 50 of them for 250,000 Poke. And we'll keep the rest in the PC for a rainy day. Deposited 50 nuggets. Also, while I was in the box storage, because I always forget you have to go to Winter's PC for item storage, I went to move items and noticed Jigglypuff is holding something. It's just an Oranberry. Okay. Jigglypuff can be holding an Oranberry. I'm pretty sure there's also a small chance for it to be holding a Moonstone, though. So, you know, could have been exciting. It wasn't, though. Oh, one more. Okay. One more for the road, sure. I forgot I'd have to fight him again after that, so 101 nuggets. Sounds good to me. Let's do it for real this time. We actually have our party, so this should be manageable. I don't know if I want Annabelle in here. This thing has wrap that prevents you from switching out now, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna at least lower its HP once. Intimidate already lowered Annabelle's attack stat, so she's gonna be doing even less damage. I'm just gonna switch into Margarine. Bite, okay. Bite is a special attack in Generation 3 because they changed it to a Dark type move as soon as the Dark type was introduced. I guess I should mention Dark and Special are special, and Dark and Steel are special and physical types, you know, respectively. I didn't actually go over what these types do at all, even though we have a Dark type move now, and we've seen a Steel type in that Magnemite in Mount Moon, but yeah, that's the attributes of those if you need to know. As for type advantages, you have the L and R button. Come on, think of the opportunity. Don't let this chance go to waste. Yeah, I'd become a top leader in Team Rocket. I don't really want to. I'm like 12. TM45 Attract. Okay. Attract is a normal type move. If the opponent is the opposite gender of the user, the foe is made infatuated and is unlikely to attack. This doesn't wear off. This is a really powerful status condition made pretty bad by the fact that Pokemon does not acknowledge gay people or gay animals, both of which are real. Both of those things exist, but in Pokemon, only gay people exist. And even that's only loosely, you know, like that's headcanon more than anything. But whatever. Yeah, this move isn't really worth teaching to anything. If you use this on a Pokemon that doesn't have a gender, such as legendary Pokemon or certain, like, Pokemon based on objects or anything, it just won't do anything. Alright. We're gonna head down here and fight this camper because there's literally no reason not to. We can't get Mew. We can't get Mew in this generation, so whatever. Otherwise, I will cut ahead to the next interesting thing. On Route 25, we actually want to loop back around to get back to Route 24 so we can pick up this Pecha Berry. Pecha Berries heal poison. Alright. Lots of trainers to fight. See you at the next interesting thing. This hiker who I just beat named Knob is actually a reference to a freelance translator who essentially single-handedly translated most Pokemon games into English for the first 3 generations. His name is Knob Ogasawara, and yeah, he's pretty cool. He genuinely is awesome. He does work for Did You Know Gaming occasionally if he's paid for it, and he has some sometimes good takes on Twitter. I don't use Twitter these days, but hey, I remember him having sometimes good takes. Maybe he doesn't. I don't remember. Whatever. I like him. You done got me in real good, too. Anyway, as usual, make sure you fight this kid on this tile, not the one above it, or else you won't be able to get the item behind him for a while. Camper Flint. Behind Camper Flint is TM43 Secret Power. Not quite as good as Hidden Power, but it's a move that you can use if you would like to. Secret Power is a 70 type, normal type move that has an additional effect that varies depending on where you're using it. We'll go more in depth on this later because I have more information about it written later in my notes, but yeah, this will usually just result in it being able to paralyze opponents, and that is, you know, that's just how most terrains, like, interact with it, but there are a lot of potential effects for it. You just won't end up seeing most of them throughout your playthrough. I had this feeling. I knew I had to battle you. Okay. Youngster Chad. Hell yeah. Up near the Sea Cottage, there's a Bluckberry here. Obviously named after the Blackberry, but I have no idea what that does. can be ground up into powder as an ingredient for medicine. So it does nothing. These have a better use in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald than just using them to make berry powder, but unfortunately, some of the berries you get in this game are just useless. Except for, like, using them for Berry Crush. Okay, what's going on here? Hello, are you here alone? If you're out at Cerulean's Cape, well, it should be as a couple. This cape is a famous date spot. Misty, the gym leader, has high hopes about this place. Okay, trying to tie it together to future games maybe a little bit. Hiya, I'm a Pokemon. Aw, no I'm not. Call me Bill, I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. Hey, what's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you, lady. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon. So, how about it? Help me out here. Wait till I get inside the teleporter. When I do, go to my PC and run the cell separation system. Okay. Winter initiated the teleporter cell separator. Wow, he actually has a unique sprite. Yeehaw! Thanks, lady, I owe you one. So, did you come to see my Pokemon collection? I know, I'm a lot more southern all of a sudden. I mean, I think this is just how I was in general in the Red, Blue, Yellow Let's Play, but I just forgot I was southern until I said, yeehaw! So, did you come to see my Pokemon collection? You didn't? That's a bummer. I've got to thank you. Oh, here, maybe this'll do. That cruise ship SS Anne is in Vermilion City. I hear there are lots of trainers on board too. They invited me to their party, but I can't stand fancy dues. Why don't you go instead of me? Go on and have a good time. Okay. But first, you want to leave and re-enter. Feel like checking out some of my rare Pokemon on my PC? Go on, check out my PC. You can look at his favorite Pokemon list. Eevee is included now instead of just its evolutions. Eevee, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. This will register them in the Pokédex like usual. After meeting Bill, we are allowed to go back behind the Pokemon Center, and I actually want to do this before going to challenge the gym, just so we can get Dig for Annabelle. Hey, stay out, it's not your yard. Huh? Me? I'm an innocent bystander, don't you believe me? I just want Annabelle to have a stab move. We're not gonna go to Vermilion City early or anything, but... I mean, we know this guy gives Dig, and I want Dig. Focus Energy. Well, that move's a little interesting considering it actually works in this game. In Generation 1, that decreases your critical hit rate. In Generation 3, that increases your critical hit rate from 1 in 16 to 1 in 4. So, actually a pretty good move, all things considered. You just need to be a bulky enough Pokemon to, like, justify using it. Alright. Machop is down. Drowsy. I forgot this guy has a Drowsy because almost no Team Rocket grunts ever do. But we actually have coverage for it because this isn't Generation 1. Which, you know, fine by me. I'm fine using Thief on a Drowsy, I don't care. I'm not gonna complain about the Psychic type not being invulnerable. Invulnerable is not the word I was going for there, but I couldn't think of the actual word. Other than, like, overpowered, but even that isn't necessarily true, I think. I think it's balanced pretty well in Generation 1, all things considered, with normal types being equally as good as Psychic types. Okay, I'll return the TM I stole. Winter recovered TM28 from the Team Rocket grunt. Yeah, bye. Thanks for saying bye so casually, dude. Talk to this guy. I figure what's lost is lost. I decided to teach Diglett how to dig without a TM. Yeah, good on you, man, because it learns it real early. Okay. So we have the ability to teach Annabelle Dig now. Let's actually do that. Annabelle wants to learn the move Dig. Annabelle already knows 4 moves. Yes, a move should be deleted. Honestly, buy Scratch. I need a move that's a little bit grounder. Okay. Secret Power. Basically every Pokemon can learn Secret Power. I'm not going to use that right now. Alright, we have a stab move on Annabelle. Cool. On to the second gym. Yo, champ in the making. Let me give you some advice. The leader Misty is a pro who uses Water-type Pokemon. You can drain all their moves with Grass-type Pokemon, or you might use Electric-type Pokemon to zap them. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and fight both the trainers here for experience, just like last time, so I'll either speed up or cut ahead to when I'm done with that. I don't know why it's speed up. Maybe because this guy has a speed up. Alright, I've taken care of both gym trainers. It's time to challenge Misty. Finally. I've been recording for almost 4 hours. Hi, you're a new face. Only those trainers who have a policy about Pokemon can turn pro. What is your approach when you catch and train Pokemon? My policy is an all-out offensive with Water-type Pokemon. Leader Misty would like to battle. Leading with Staryu, level 18, Water-type, natural cure for the ability, so if she switches it out, any status conditions will be healed off. Knowing the moves Tackle, Harden, Recover, and Water Pulse. Annabelle really can't do anything here. I did not mean to switch into Hiket. I was going to switch into Margarine to let her handle Staryu, but sure. Change of plans, I guess. Uh-oh. I'm gonna switch anyway. It kind of sucks, like, splitting up the experience like that, but I'm gonna go with what my original plan was. I want Margarine to go ahead and use Sleep Powder, because it's 97% accurate, so why wouldn't I? Fast asleep. And from here, we're just gonna use Confusion. I want Margarine to just worry about taking out Staryu, because we know her second Pokemon is Starmie, and Margarine can do a lot less about that. Although Margarine actually still could probably handle Starmie because it has Thief. Or she has Thief, not Starmie. I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna keep confusioning. What am I supposed to say about this battle? She used a Super Potion, good for her. Most gym leaders are more willing to use items in this game than they were in Generation 1, and their reasoning for using them is usually a lot more, sensical. Like, they'll use them if a Pokemon is at full health, and it's like a... It's not guaranteed, but it's not nearly as low of a chance as it used to be. And they generally only use potions. They're not using items like X items or guard spec anymore. We're gonna go ahead and use Stun Spore on Starmie. That's what I was going for. Starmie is level 21, Water Psychic type, natural cure for the ability, knowing the moves Rapid Spin, Swift, Recover, and Water Pulse. I just wanted to paralyze it because Starmie is level 21 and it's a very fast Pokemon, so it would outspeed Ivysaur. Margarine might not survive a Water Pulse. Okay, never mind. Margarine might actually sweep. Margarine, are you... Okay, never mind. It has Recover. Recover restores 50% of a Pokemon's HP. That's just what it does, and many Pokemon actually get this now, compared to in Generation 1. I think it was like Staryu gets it, and Alakazam gets it, and Mewtwo gets it, and maybe Mew gets it. But not many Pokemon get it. Paralyzing Starmie literally just allowed Margarine to sweep entirely. That's actually awesome. I'll take it. Defeated Misty. Wow, you're too much. Alright, you can have the Cascade Badge to show you beat me. Cascade Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. That includes even outsiders you got in trades. There's more. You can now use Cut anytime, even out of battle. You can cut down small trees to open new pathways. You can also have my favorite TM. TM03. TM03 teaches Water Pulse. Use it on an aquatic Pokemon. Water Pulse. Water Pulse is a 60 power normal type move with a 20% chance of inflicting confusion. It's a slight dip in powder. Oh my god. Powder. Okay, my alarm started going off as soon as I started explaining my thoughts on Water Pulse. Anyways, I was saying, it's a slight dip in power from Bubble Beam, but it has a better effect, so it's alright. You beat Misty. See, what did I tell you? You and me, kid, we make a pretty darn good team. I don't even know your name. With that done, we have done everything there is to do up through the Cerulean City Gym. Next time on Pokemon Generation FireRed and LeafGreen, I'm not going to say Generation 1 again. I know I said that at the end of the last episode, and it's real embarrassing. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we are going to be seeing everything we can do up until our battle with Lieutenant Surge. See you guys then.